Good evening, everyone. How are we all? I hope we are all well. If you could let me know if you can hear me all right, because you know how we don't trust the microphones nowadays. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. So, how are we all? I hope we've had a good weekend. Mine has been rather busy, although the good news was that I don't have to, or I didn't have to pick Kathleen up last night. Um, so that was a plus. Um, who've we got? We've got Decluttering Queen, good evening. Mandy, good evening. Justine, good evening. Nice to see you here. I'm presuming you can all hear me. Um, Rasheen, good evening. Julie, hello. Um, so yeah, last night was much better than I thought because I didn't have to go and pick up Kathleen at stupid o'clock, so that was good. Thank you, Patrick. Evening, Charlotte. Evening, HM. So obviously, because I didn't have to go and pick up Kathleen, I was up early and went to the shops. As you will have seen if you saw the haul. I was so pleased with that haul, I have to say. Cluster Bungle, good evening. Sarah, hi there. Um, so yeah, I've got so many plans for cooking. Mushroom soup will need to be the first because I need to get those mushrooms used. So I'll probably do that tomorrow night when I come in. Um, Clara, good evening. Mary, hi there. Noor, good evening. Gina, hello from Sweden. Nice to have you here. So yeah, my cooking in the next few days is going to be mushroom soup and hopefully Lorne sausage. I have put them into the freezer because the pork was already reduced. I didn't want to leave it in case I lost it. Clara, I have not had a thunderstorm. Where are you? You Scotland, England, somewhere else? Um, Certainly we didn't have a thunderstorm, but I have to say it was cooler this afternoon, and now it's just like so close again. So I've got the fan on to cool me down. Oh, Isle of Wight, you're down the bottom, Clara. Okay, anyone else down the bottom having thunderstorms? I did see that there was another Met Office warning for bad weather. Crazy Solo, hello, welcome. Um, Stu, how you doing? I am good, thank you. Well, silent depths. What can I say, Clara? Um, so yeah, but I mean, thunderstorms, obviously, weather warnings. It's something we're having to look at more just now. I've got someone coming out to check the walls, to make sure there's nothing there, and the guttering to make sure there's no leaks because that's going to be a nightmare trying to get that done in the winter because you just can't get tradesmen just now. Saxavo, good evening. Mixie, hi there. Marie Louise, rain in Hastings, which is down the bottom, and now it's muggy again. Ben, good evening. I am well, thank you, apart from now overheating, which seems to be a thing on Sunday nights. As I say, cool this afternoon. I had the wood burner on and everything, and now it's just got all muggy again. So, but that's fine because, it's Sunday evening. As I say, today I did shopping. Got a fantastic haul of reduced meats in Lidl's. Asda wasn't as good as I had hoped. The last time I went shopping in Asda, it had like millions of the little cherry tomatoes. And since Alan sent me the book on bottling, I was like, oh, I could do like tomato relish or chutney, either or. Um, but today when I went in, it was just a lot of like cut pieces of melon and stuff. There was very little. Sarah, you've got the fan on in Leicestershire. Yep, see, that's it. Evening, Janet. Bridget, good evening. Susan, hello. KB, good evening and welcome. Zelda from France, bonjour, which is about as far as it goes, I have to say. I have schoolgirl French and I wasn't very good at it. Lolly, good evening. Nice to see you. Chris, hello. Welcome. Um, So yeah, the other thing we did today was we went to visit Mum. It was her birthday in the care home, so we went to go and see her. She's just newly moved there, so that probably wasn't one of her better ideas. So that didn't particularly go well. What is the book on bottling called? Well, would you believe it's actually sitting beside me? Bear with me a second. It is the Ball Book of Home Preserving. See that one? Alan sent that over, and it's got so much stuff in it. It's fabulous, and it's got chutneys and relishes and jams and things. So that is going to be my go-to for anything I find reduced in the shops when I'm shopping. But as I say, Asda today literally was just a lot of the cut fruit pieces, so that wasn't worth it. And when I went to Lidl's, I had bought the potatoes in Asda, and their veggie box really was just a lot of potatoes with like a couple of bags of lemons. So not really much to do with that. Avril, good evening. Nice to see you. Yep, no thunderstorms here, decluttering queen. Absolutely right. Digby, good evening. Nice to see you. So yeah, that's really all I've done today. I rested after that. Charlotte, I did branch out from jam. In fact, I didn't start with jam. I started with, what was it I did? Caramelized onion chutney kind of stuff. And it basically was a whole lot of onions in the slow cooker with, I think the recipe I had grenadine and white wine vinegar and sugar or syrup. I can't remember which, but that was basically, and it was just basically throw it in the slow cooker until it became a dark sort of caramelized thing. So that was what I started with before I started with jam, because jam always scared me. You know, and especially after the first couple of attempts when I realized it was a rolling boil you have to have jam at. Yeah, I really don't like that, but I'm getting a bit better at it. Clara, you've got Migsy as well. What do you think about Mylar preserving bags for long-term food storage? Migsy, I have a load of them. They're up in my attic. Because we had, obviously Kathleen had moved out and then she sort of moved back in and it was in, out, you know, we weren't sure. And I had taken over her room, literally taken over her room. So I had a whole lot of Mylar bags. And in them, I have my flour, oatmeal, sugar, and I've got some pasta in there as well. And I had a load of Mylar bags full of that. And because it keeps for so long, with oxygen absorbers, unless it's sugar, no oxygen absorbers for the sugar, but they got moved up in the attic when I had to clear some stuff out of Kathleen's room. Have I made lemon curd? I have. I made it years ago as well. And I went into, where did I go? Juliet. Good evening, Juliet. I'm so sorry for calling you Digby. But yeah, I made lemon curd. But today I went to an honesty shed in a local farm, and I guess, you know, the bottles, little jars that size, you know, smaller than Hartley's jam. And it was £2.50 for lemon curd. And much as I like lemon curd, I need to make it myself rather than pay £2.50 for a jar that's like a quarter of the size of a jam jar. Yeah. Lolly, yeah, I have an electric cooker, so it took me a while to get it sorted. Not the person's, what is it? Sorry, never seen. Yeah, I have to. Oh, well done, Rasheen. Raw pack chicken. Alan, good evening. How's the chainsaw doing? I haven't used it today again, Alan. That's going to be in the evenings from work. Paranormal, good evening. Yeah, hiding behind dogs. I hide behind the cat a lot. Ava, good evening. Nice to see you. Oh yeah, Crazy Solo, the Scottish note. Honest to goodness, I swear I nearly got done for things. we had Patrick caught pneumonia, like proper pneumonia. So I jumped on a train to go down to London and picked him up. He stupidly came to meet me when I got off the bus. And we got him home to his flat, and round the corner was a chemist. And I was like, right, I'll go round and I'll get painkillers maxed out. I will get everything. I only had Scottish notes. They wouldn't accept them. I was not a happy bunny. Can I just mention? Thankfully, I went down to the other chemist, which was further away, but they had seen me in there with Patrick a few times, so it was fine. Did you know you get £25 toothpaste? No. And I think I will keep it that way. Thank you. Paranormal channel. I hide behind the sofa. Yep, I do that. Willow, good evening. Nice to see you. Yeah, Janet, Virgo mother. I'm a Scorpio daughter. I don't think it's a good mix at all. I really don't. And of course, Mandy knows all about this stuff, and Mercury retrograde is still playing about, seemingly, which I never actually thought of until she told me about it. And I have to say that the last couple of weeks at work, I have been like a bear with a sore head. Although I'm putting that down to the fact that I'm going on holiday soon and I'm like a kid with a new toy. So yeah. Just come to bed with my hot water bottle. I can hardly. Oh, Vicky. Hot water bottle, blankies, the whole lot. Just settle yourself down and rest. Backup electricity power, please. Patrick, that's your department. Those generator thingies that I told you about. Backup electricity panel. Or backup electricity power. Are we looking at that? What? I'll tell you what, Migsy, I will ask Patrick to have a look at that, and then we can have an educated discussion about it, because he's the electrician. So, Mark, make you rice pudding. I just made rice pudding. There's a video on it. I make it with evaporated milk. So yeah, been there, done that. Paranormal candlelight. Candlelight is good. We like that. Hexamine cookers and fuels. I haven't actually used a hexamine cooker, I don't think. But I have I've got one of the little single burner gas stoves that use cans of gas that are about like that size, with some extra cans just in case. But now I have the wood burner as well. Lolly, yes, I am. 26th of October. That is me. Cast iron pot to go in the log burner. It is fabulous, Charlotte. I remember the first time I used that. It was brilliant. I actually proper cooked something from raw. What I have also done is just use what was it I heated up? I think I'd made chow mein, and it was still in the frying pan from the night before, and I just stuck the frying pan on top of the wood burner, and it just did not take long at all. It was fabulous. Another McGrath in the conversation. Yes, we do. Yep, burner for gas canisters. Oh, toasty makers to use that way. A toasty maker for a wood burner. I may have to investigate that. But yeah, I definitely have used. What did I make? I think I used sausage casserole, and it literally was. I threw everything in the cast iron pot, and just put the lid on it and stirred it every so often, and it was fantastic. But last winter was my first winter with the wood burner, so I wasn't using it an awful lot. But I definitely, once I sort of got over the scary bit, now it's definitely going to get used a lot this winter. EcoFlow. Patrick, that's your department. Check out an EcoFlow for me, please. Virgo, perfectionist issues. Is that what it is, Juliet? I'll believe you. Wind up radios, water purification thingies. Okay. Vibration alarms for home security, I don't have. When we're out, if we're out for any length of time, we have old phones, and there's an app that Patrick's put on them where it just works like a Ring doorbell. I have my neighbours next door. My neighbours across the road have CCTV. So I don't really do home security. Plus the fact, anytime I'm out, Kathleen has to come and live here and look after the cat. Plus Patrick's daughter drops in and out. So, my house is never left for any length of time. Wind-up radios. Yes, I have one. I have a wind-up radio that's got solar panels on the top, and it takes batteries as well, and it's got a light, and you can charge your phone up off of it. So I've got one of them. So yeah, I need to I did do a video before. I've got wind-up lanterns that also charge with batteries, but your clockwork lanterns, I got 2 of them. So I've got the wind-up lantern, I've got the little radio because I don't trust everything working. So yeah, that's my sort of power cut basket, which I need to refill. Good evening, Rainbow Obsidian. How are you? Good to see you here. Cook with tea lights. Yep, I agree. I have done that when I've been playing about. That is definitely a thing that you can do. To use tumble dryer, use the fluff as firelighters. Yep, do that. I literally defluff my tumble dryer and throw it in. I have what I call a burn bag here. So any mail that does anything that's not particularly needed or anything that's dealt with, it goes in the burn bag, and that's what I use to start the fires. And I put the lint from the dryer there as well. Love Kath. Thank you, Juliet. She is lovely. Kale this weekend. Yeah. I did kale, but I did it when I was out at work. So it wasn't really too bad. Evaporated milk on a crumble. Yeah, it is. It's fabulous. Yeah, Bridget, I'm definitely looking for something for the winter. Tried cooking my candle and it went out. Yep, I can understand that. Kathleen, my daughter's channel is called Not So Young and Scottish. She is on here. Stephen, dehydrated water. Yeah. Oh, ridiculously sunny windowsill. If you can't cook something, a ridiculously sunny windowsill is very good for mung beans so that you get bean sprouts. Mixie, I wouldn't work in months. I would start off with your basics. And that's a sort of rain messing with my internet connection. Oh, that's no good, Carol, but nice to see you. Generator charged by solar electric. You charge your library. Good plan. Of course she's young, Willow. She is a baby. She's my baby. Cleaning and going through her cupboards, yeah. But fondue cook sets, Stephen, good point. Yeah, charity shop fondue sets are a good thing. Bear with me, my phone is making funny noises. And I'm always wary because we've got mum in the care home. Okay, I have no words. That was YouTube letting me know that I'm live on my channel. Hello, I'm live on my channel. Slim, good evening. Yeah, 2-litre water bottles. But to get back to the how many months worth of food, I didn't do it in months worth of food. I started with pasta and rice. Because if push comes to shove, rice you can flavour with very little, and I know that from being a poor single parent in our younger days. So I started with rice and pasta. That was my first thing that I really started to stockpile. Then it was chopped tomatoes, because then you could make so many things and it just gives a different flavor. So I got some tins of that. Then I worked up to things like sugar. I got tinned potatoes. I got some corned beef. And that was my basic starting point, was, oh, and lentils for lentil soup. And once I'd got those basics, what I then did was I got a dehydrator, because for me, onions goes in everything. So yeah, paranormal, I got stock cubes as well. I got beef and chicken and veggie stock cubes. Just so that the pasta, the rice, whatever would have different flavorings. And as I say, lentils for soups and for adding to mince or whatever to do. Carrot and lentil soup in the days. Lolly, do you know, I remember telling Kathleen years ago when I was a student, and it was like your last couple of weeks at term, and I was so skint. And I remember it was, I think I had like a fiver to last me the week or something. And I remember I got bread and I had cooking oil. So I got bread, butter, cheese, onions, and potatoes. And that was it. That was what I had for the week. And I had like toast, I had cheese toasties, I had cheese and onion toasties, I had Laney's potatoes, I had Laney's potatoes with cheese, I had cheesy mashed potatoes. And that was basically what I lived on for a week, because that was pretty much what I had. So yeah, I know exactly what you mean, Lolly, with the carrot and lentil soup for days. Ham stock cubes. Marie Louise, ham stock cubes are fabulous for lentil soup. Absolutely fabulous. Migsy, how did I start on this journey? I panicked, basically. Juliet, yeah, I think I got like 3 baby tomatoes. That was it, and I left them for the beasties. But yeah, Migsy, I started on this by panicking. When there was the problem with the lorry drivers, because I'm in a rural area, everything comes up to us in trucks, everything. And my nearest big cities are an hour away. So when I heard that news, that made me start looking at things. And as Slim says, got wise and looked at, okay, so if the lorry drivers are having a problem, and then there's the fuel and the oil prices are going up. And I thought, right, I'll just have a wee bit, I'll start stashing a few things. So I started stashing a few things. And then, of course, things got worse. So then it was, a bit sort of like, okay, we'll be a bit more careful. And then, of course, the energy prices went up, and things were struggling to come over from abroad. And so what started as I'll have a wee bit rice and a wee bit pasta got to I'll add this and I'll get a dehydrator. And the dehydrator, I've got so many dehydrated onions and mushrooms and carrots and stuff, because it's, if push comes to shove, I've got flour, I've got pasta, I've got rice, and I've got flavour. Whether it's, I dehydrated, I'm laughing about you talking about dehydrating kale there. I don't know, I think it was Tesco at that time I was shopping in, and they had a whole lot of like kale and spinach, like really, really reduced. And it was like 10 pence a bag or something. And I got loads of bags of it. And trust me, I've got no intention of eating kale or spinach in that sort of quantity. But what I did was I dehydrated it and made it into a powder. And that just means that if I'm putting on a stew or even like some fried rice or whatever, I'll put a spoonful of this green powder in it. And I gave it to Patrick's daughter as well for the kids. because as the prices were getting higher, she was struggling to buy the same sort of thing and getting the kids to eat vegetables that they wouldn't normally. So we gave her green powder as well. So yeah, that's what I do. Oh, Rainbow, I care not a jot about healthy foods. If I have got food that I can eat, then that's all I need. I will try and eat healthier. Tonight I had carrots and parsnips in my air fryer, roasted. I'm having a whole thing about that just now. And it's the healthiest meal I eat, so that's fine. How do you determine when you've got enough food stuff stockpiled? And I run out of space. No. Actually, at the moment, I have stopped stockpiling a lot of tins and packets because this is just, it is myself and Patrick, sometimes Kathleen here. I don't need 20 packets of lentils. I have 3 very large packets. That's enough. So I don't need to do that. But what I do is if Kathleen's here or if Patrick's daughter's here or if Patrick's here himself and wants to take stuff, then, it's like, yeah, there's stuff up the stairs or there's stuff in the cupboard. So it gets split. And also, I don't keep it all in the same place. It gets split round everyone just so that it's not, all in the one place. Margaret, good evening. Nice to see you. Slim, yeah, we switched because I had the house is all electric and I had storage heaters. And Patrick was having conniptions, obviously, electrician, seeing the amount of money it cost me for the electric, because we had different rates for different times. He had absolute conniptions. So we found a Calor gas heater that was made of cast iron. It looks like an old stove. And that was the best thing we bought for a good couple of years because the cast iron holds the heat. Unlike a superser, where as soon as you switch it off, within minutes your room gets cold, the Calor gas heater holds the heat. And don't get me wrong, it was not cheap. But the fact that Calor gas heater is cast iron and holds the heat saved us a fortune. So, yeah. And as people have said as well, don't forget water. I've got, do you know, like the square containers, the plastic containers with the little tappy thing? And what I do is I clear it out every month or so and refresh it. Because yeah, we can't do without water. And yeah, Rainbow, it's no one's going to be prepared for everything. It's not going to, we're just not. Yeah, Lolly, I could never get my storage heaters to work either. Oh, Stephen, yeah, Army Surplus Online is a good place to get water storage containers. Yes, I do that. Well, no, I haven't done that. What I got, the Army Surplus, I helped out at Army Cadets for a while when Kathleen was there, and we went on camp, and I had a Tesco sleeping bag, and my commanding officer person looked at me and went, "Don't be stupid, here." And she gave me an Army sleeping bag, and it was fabulous. So I came home and I bought 4 of them from the Army Surplus store. The 5-season sleeping bag, ex-Army, best thing ever. Migsy, bugging out? No, not a hope. I'm in Scotland. If I bug out, I'm up on a hill. My house is much safer than bugging out. Absolutely. So, yeah, I will be bugging in if anything like that happens. Well, yeah, there's always that, isn't it? Slim, yeah, the stove, about £300. Yeah, that's the same, sounds like the same one I've got. Storage went out in the 70s. Sadly, this house, which is only about 20-year-old, had that. But that was, it was a whole deal that they had with Scottish Power that you got a cheaper rate and it was for people that weren't work and blah, blah, blah. So, yeah. Rainbow, yeah, you can only really prep with the money you've got. And that's why I started with pasta, and it was like 20 pence a bag at the time. So I got extra pasta and rice. And I mean, I literally was going, at that time I shopped at Tesco, and I was going round getting their cheapest essentials thing that could last me, like rice, pasta, tinned tomatoes, stuff like that. Ross, I have got no idea of the nutritional value of dog food, and I have got no intention of finding out. I will turn veggie before I do that. Baby tails, is it the oh yeah, I think it might be, because it looks like that from there. Juliet, bugging out is when you strap a rucksack on your bag and run away. I get that people might do that in the cities, but for me, there's nowhere to run to. So it's much safer for me to bug in. I would say for most people, it's much safer to bug in. Who was homeless in Scotland? That's me. I have a bug, one door, bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. Great. Any ideas of heating off grid? Saxa, not anything that is sensible, really. Off grid heating is, you know, your Calor gas heater, you can light candles and stuff, etc., but not particularly. Rainbow, oh, go prep tomatoes. Thank you, darling. See you later. Take care. Oh, Saxa, yeah. I'm like you. Well, I'm not like you. Obviously, I could put a wood burner in, but yeah, I know there's a lot of people can't put in log burners. The British Army Arctic Sleep. Yeah, Stephen, I think that's the one I had. And it's got a stuff bag, which is about probably about the width of your laptop screen. It's fabulous. But getting it into that bag it literally is like the bouncing bomb. Great option in Aldi. 2.8 kilo tin of baked beans for only $1.99. Excellent. I would need to like decant that into smaller ones. Mixie, yeah, a while away from that. That's what we're doing with the caravan. Muddy Shoe, I heard about net zero houses in the UK. Does this affect you all? If the House of Lords pass this net zero bill, then yeah, it will. Flower pot oven, Bridget, yeah, let me know how you got on with that, because I have looked at it, but I didn't actually do it last year. I did think about it, but no. Juliet, have a great evening. Give the dogs hugs from us. Yeah, rug up. Basically, rug up is basically me talking about my blankies. Do you know, I have loads of blankies. I have thermals. I have all this sort of stuff. And it just is, that's what I do first, is I will put on layers. Sleeping bags and blankies. Yeah. And I mean, it's easier to heat a person than it is to heat the room. So you start with yourself first. Make sure you're warm enough. Woolly bonnets. Janet, I knitted a woolly bonnet. I found it a couple of weeks ago, this woolly bonnet that I had knitted. I've got no idea what I did with the pattern, but it's there somewhere. Bridget, yeah, 2 dogs to keep you warm. Onesies. Kathleen has so many of them. But yeah, bugging in is best. Yep, I would. But yeah, I mean, it's amazing, all these things that you think of when you're starting out, and you know, when you start doing the prepping, it's like, okay, what do I start with? What's going to be most important? You know, things like that. And It is just doing small things to start you off. Saxa, I'm glad to hear you're getting treatment. Fingers crossed for you, sweetheart. And if you need anything, you give us a shout. Heated trousers are excellent. Okay, Bridget, have to say, not gone for them yet. Not quite sure about that. Little by little, Tim Bidden. I mean, that's how I started it. It started with a few bits in a cupboard, and then I had to buy shelves, and then I did different bit, and then I got more jars, and then I got more shelves, and used the wardrobes and stuff. I ended up with so much stuff. Make draft excluders and such out of what to keep heat is in there. The room is. Yeah, well, as you've probably heard me say before, curtains, fleecy blankets to the back of curtains, as Lolly says. That is definitely a huge difference. I mean, I was lucky that a lot of the stuff that Mum had in the house, she had got quite heavy quality stuff. She had got stuff from the hotel where she used to work. So we have lined curtains on all the windows. We've got black outlined curtains up the stairs. I've got heavy curtains down here. I mean, I still have, I'm just looking at that window over there. Does anyone remember the Tudor stripe curtains and couches? You know, with the red and the green and the blue stripes. I still have those curtains up in that corner window because I've got a matching pair there, but this room's got like a double window and then you need another one. And I don't have two pairs of curtains that match. So I put up the Tudor curtains because although they're probably like 20, 30 years old, they're lined, they're heavy. So that's what I do. But yeah, as you're saying in the comments, bubble wrap on the windows makes a huge difference. And I didn't think it did, I have to say, until it was last winter and I walked out from my sitting room door, which is just there, and my back door's right in front of my sitting room door. And the cold that came off that small window on my door was ridiculous. And I slapped some bubble wrap on it in like pretty much temper tantrum. And it made a huge difference. Huge difference. Alan, Jeffrey is not difficult to maintain. The only problem I have is if I use the basket for the mozzarella sticks, the basket's a very fine mesh. Don't do that. Use the tray. Janet, have a good evening, sweetheart. I hope you have a good sleep. But yeah, as long as you don't use the basket for cooking things that melt into it, it's really, really good. And that metal grill is fabulous. And then I just put the base thing, the container, I just put that in and wash it with hot soapy water and a brush. So yeah, that's what I do. Cheap hoodies last year. Yep, I have. I can't even remember what's on my hoodie, but yeah, Kathleen came in with the, there you go, Mum. So yes, I do. Yeah, well, you're right. There's lots of little things. And I haven't bought scented candles for a while, mainly because I don't think that they smell very much anymore. What I did, I used an oil burner. You know, where you put a bit of water and oil in the top and put a tea light under it. I found that gave me a much, much better scent than a scented candle. So, yep, folded brown paper, folded brown cardboard, yes. I have seen me put that on floors and stuff like that, just to stop it being as cold. So, best scented candle is Asda a jar, 350. There you go. No doubt Kathleen has tried that, Lolly. I just haven't got them. But yeah, I mean, it's just a case of doing as much as you can to try and, keep yourself safe, keep yourself warm. Make sure that if there's a power cut, or for us, although not for the last few years, but for us it was definitely for a few years with the snow, because the lorries couldn't get into the town to bring any supplies in. So for me, now that I'm sort of that mindset, I might have to, look after myself. I might not be able to just nip up the street. So that's really what I'm sort of thinking. And yeah, prepare for the worst and hope for the best, because as Migsy says, some are good, some are not, and you just have to hope that you can work your way through it. Oh, electric steam vaporizer with menthol scents. Yeah, definitely. Good evening, Nina. Nice to see you here. Started taking a walk with our dogs at night here. And called celebration. See, it's something, but that's one of the things that's great about these channels, because you can speak to people, and there's Lilith saying to us that Lidl's got some nice scented candles that actually smell of something, which is good. Baby Tails, I have to say, what did I get? I got essential oils a few years ago, and I got, what did I get? I got eucalyptus and something else, camphor, and I threw them in the bath, and good grief, Kathleen and I were breathing fine for the next 2 days, because the smell just went through the house. But yeah, if you get the right oils, it really can make a difference when you've got a cold. Pam, good evening. Nice to see you here. Vinegar by bed, and of course Vicks on your chest. Yeah, Vicks is fabulous. And weirdly enough, people say put Vicks on your feet if you're full of the cold, and I was like, don't give me your rubbish. It actually works. I put like lashings of it. I was feeling really, really bad last year. I'm sure some of you are there. You probably remember me sitting full of the cold. And I went to bed and I put on fluffy sock, but I put lashings of Vicks on my feet. And oh my goodness, I got the first decent night's sleep for ages. Oh goodness, Gina. No, I would not be expecting freezing yet. No, definitely not. Do you want your said retard? Run off with the shed. It does work so well, Willow. It really does. And I felt such an idiot doing it when I actually did it, but it really, really worked. And it's like the comfrey. Patrick, remember the comfrey seeds? In fact, we might just get them when we're on holiday. The comfrey balm that I made with the leaves that we found, everyone who's tried it has said it's made a difference. So what I'm going to do is get some comfrey seeds and grow my own, because where we got the comfrey from, a lot of dogs walk past there. And this year I am obviously going to need a whole lot more comfrey because it proper works. So we're going to grow our own. So yeah, comfrey balm definitely did make a difference as well. Oh yeah, cherry flavoured tunes. Oh, I remember them. Story Cove. Oh, definitely worth a look then. Oh yeah, under your socks. The Vicks goes under your socks, have to say. But yeah, it's amazing how all these different little things. I mean, I don't remember who it was that said to me, but I remember doing the Baby Tails. Is that the Patrick with the wee spanner? Yes, that is the Patrick. Frozen peas, please, Bob. What are you like? Migsy, I tried growing the veggies. It didn't work this year, so I will be trying it again next year. But yeah, the comfrey, we are definitely, because I want so much more, we're going to be buying the seeds and growing a whole lot of it, because it definitely makes a huge difference to a lot of people. You know, it's made difference to Mandy with arthritis. It made difference to next door with back pain. It's made difference to Patrick. It's made a difference to me. So yeah, definitely the comfrey balm will be getting made again. But I really do not want to be taking the leaves from where everybody walks their dogs. Breaking bones and stealing stones. What he is like, honestly. Ginger cordial. Ooh. Can't say I've ever tried ginger cordial. The rose hips are out. I went to over to see Mum today, and the rose hips are out. I need to go and pick rose hips because rose hip syrup is lovely. Patrick, can I take my fleece on holiday, please? Because then I can do it outside, and then it'll be done. Patrick, let me take the fleece on holiday. Come back to us, please. I'm not going anywhere. I have way too much fun doing this. Patrick, don't be mean. That's just mean. So basically, for anyone who doesn't know, I bought sheep's fleeces, and they're in poly bags just now. They're in like big feed bags. And I've seen a thing about how you make sheep's rugs, like vegan sheep's rugs. It's not sheepskin, but it looks like sheepskin. And yes, Slim, they probably are manky, but they're in poly bags, you know, and the whole way of making them is that you wash them and felt them and stuff and stuff and stuff. And I thought, well, I can take them on holiday because I can put them on the table out in the balcony and I can do all the washing there, and then nothing's going to get mucky or hurted or anything. And Patrick doesn't want them in his car. So I shall have to do it in the house. So yeah. Hot water bottle under your feet. Oh yeah. Hot water bottles. Yeah, hot water bottles are very good. I got some last year. There is a video somewhere. I got Highland Cow and Sloth hot water bottles last year, but I also got the big long sausage hot water bottles that I didn't think were going to be that good. They're fabulous. I love them. So yeah, Slim, if I knew what you meant by have they been preserved, I would tell you. They're basically, they came off the sheep and they're sitting in big bags in my kitchen. I have not seen any beasties come off them as yet, so I'm thinking that'll be fine. Hoodies, yeah, hoodies for the winter as well. See, we've all got to do those things, but we are not having winter until after my holiday. That's the rule. It's like you're not allowed to have Christmas till after my birthday. You're not allowed to have winter until after my holiday. That's just how it works. Saxa, don't say things like that when Patrick can see you. That is not a good thing to be telling him. Oh, yep, paranormal. The sausage ones existed, and they are great. B&M have Christmas on shelves already. See, they can't do Christmas yet. You're not allowed to do Christmas till after my birthday, which basically means until after Halloween. But of course, the thing is that it's, you know, they're just looking to get people to spend. So that's the thing. See, Saxa, now you've got him agreeing with you. Stretched and dried with all the... No, there's no flesh, Slim. It was sheared. It's not skin. No. It was just the wool that was sheared off. No. There's no icky stuff. Oh, it's meant to be freezing again this year. No. But I am prepared for freezing. So are we all. Yeah, Slim, don't make it worse with Patrick. Good grief. Heebies. For those that don't know, heebie-jeebies. Heebie-jeebies is the sort of thing. Yeah, ick. But yes, this year, even if it's very cold, we've been through it last year, getting sort of thinking about getting prepared and, finding out things like the bubble wrap. Who knew about the bubble wrap? And working out that, yeah, put up curtains at your doors, put up, get curtains from the charity shops. All sorts of things like that, and stupid things like someone said to me about the snow shovel. I have a snow shovel. Will you be showing us some nice soup recipe? Oh yeah. As soon as the weather turns, we start on soup. The first one is lentil. Well, this year the first one will be mushroom because I've got a whole lot of mushrooms. And the gas and electricity usually rises too. Well, funny you should say that, paranormal, because there I was reading the news before I started this today. And oh, what headline did I see? I saw the headline saying Brent crude has gone up and Russia and somewhere else are not pulling up as much oil, so the prices will go up. Why does that not surprise me just when the weather's changing? So if you haven't filled up your car or whatever recently, go fill it up just now. I will be doing that tomorrow because the prices are going to go back up again. Just ridiculous. Kieran, good evening from Ireland. Nice to see you. Using a fleece one. Yeah, Alan, it's amazing how much like big hoodies and onesies. And Lolly, I'm definitely with you on that one. I'd rather be cold than hot. Yeah, I can't do that. Winter woolies out before you need them. I put a whole load of them in a drawer so that I know where they all are. Lilith -30. Good grief. Yeah, definitely. Gas and lecky are supposed to be going down, decluttering queen. However, what that is it's gone down from what it was last year. And last year you got the £60 a month to help you. So this year you're not getting the £60 a month to help you. So basically you'll be paying the same out your own pocket as you were last year. It's just that the price has come down. Isn't that fabulous? You don't notice any difference, but the price has gone down. Isn't that fabulous? Yeah. Piffed. Wait for the one. Nadine, hiya. How you doing? Oh yeah, lolly, totally. Complete con. Sarah, yes, decluttering. Start as soon as start now. Because as Patrick will testify, I was stripping out mum and dad's house, and I think the first 3 times I went through it, I was thinking I was going to rent it out as a holiday home type thing, so we left the basics. That got old stuff out. So then there was just normal household stuff, but I had left a lot in the house just in case. And I think, if I'm right, it took 6 or 7 runs through that house to get it empty. And it wasn't actually empty because I still had a storage unit. And I still had a whole lot of stuff here, which I am only just getting rid of now, like 2 years later. So if you're moving by Christmas, I would start decluttering now. But seriously, enjoy the smaller bills. That will make a big difference. Yeah, and just 15-minute cities are not a good thing. Mattress inside the tent and create a microclimate. Yeah, Saxa, that works. That is a good thing. Kathleen and I used to do that when she was younger to play. You know, it was an adventure if we had a power cut or such. Yeah, Lolly, I think we're 153 for petrol, 154 for diesel. Salt for paths, yeah. Yeah, Chris, there's another thing, as Chris says. Your price for energy is going down, but your standard charge will increase. Paranormal, yeah, that's why I had to come off the prepayment meter. Was that winter that it came down to -16. I physically did not make enough money to put that cash in every week because the amount of cash it was taking to keep this house warm just ate through everything. I had to go to my parents for help. Hal, good evening. Nice to see you. Oh, you're going to catch up with a replay. Thank you. Yep. But yeah, absolutely. I mean, the tent in the sitting room, especially if you've got kids or grandkids staying, make it an adventure. I always say that it's like Kathleen thought it was great having pancakes for breakfast. That's because I had flour and eggs and milk. There was no cereal, there was no bread, there was no nothing. And there was two ways of looking at it. It was, oh my God, what am I going to feed the child for breakfast? Or it was, oh my goodness, we're having pancakes for breakfast this morning. Isn't that fabulous? So yeah, that's the way to look at it. You can either think it's a nightmare or you can make it into an adventure. Not far to the nearest road and therefore gritted by the council service to walk on. Yeah, that can make a huge difference. I still have my army boots that I wore when I was helping out cadets. And as soon as it starts like proper snow, where I need to walk on snow, they come out. No trainers, no heels, no nothing. Straight into the army boots. Don't care what I look like, as long as I can stay upright. That's all that matters. £50 a week if you use a washing machine. See? That's just ridiculous. And that's what's happening now is, and people don't have that sort of money. And it just is. It's so difficult trying to work out what you can do and what you can move about and how you can do it. And that's also one of the great things about stockpiling and prepping some food. Because that means that you've got that stockpile, so you don't have to spend as much on food when you're having to spend more on your energy, because you have to keep yourself. I did a video last year about switching off the heating. 2 days it took. 2 days, and this house was Baltic. And it had a chill in it. Because every other time I'd said, oh yeah, we've put the heating off or whatever, and it was okay. But I was cutting down my spend, I was doing the thing, and the difference in this house was ridiculous. So you need to be careful with that. And yep, Willow, thank you for that time check, people. So if you have any questions, please do let me know. Please, if you haven't already, hit the like, subscribe, all that stuff. Anything that you can do would be fabulous. I hope you've had a fabulous weekend. I hope you have a good week. I obviously will be getting more and more excited as the week goes on. So, yeah. It's not too warm, June. Yeah. So have a good night, everyone. I am going to head off. As I say, hit the like button, say good night, and I will catch you later.